Put it that way. Damn. I'll watch your teeth down. I'm sorry. Turn up. Damn, you know you always make me feel good, man.
The Real Dolo 117, thanks for tapping in, man. Walter, Doc Corley, Colin, I see you. Norma can believe shit. Welcome. Not in service. What up, Ty? I just came in from a little bike ride, so give me a second to put my shit in order. Where you at, Ty? Ty Missiles, Life of Mills. Life of Mills. What up?
Listen. Ain't got to see all of that. Ain't got to see all of that. Put a shirt on, goddamn it.
Wifey said no freak shows for you motherfuckers. No freak shows for you motherfuckers. Such a beautiful day in the neighborhood. What is it? 892-024 Batman. Welcome, Sondier. Welcome. Where you at, Ty? Oh, they wouldn't let you come on in your Life of Mills. Oh, you had to switch to your Tom Mills funny joint, eh? Boy, they be hunting your ass down on the internet, on the nigga net, don't they?
Huh?
They be hunting you down on the nigga net. They be like, he trying to pop up.
They was on.
Up,
I thought they was.
tell baby. 892-024. What's happening, man? What's happening uptown, man? They still losing their mind up there. What up, Trey? Trey _ Oxen in the building as always. Thank you. App _fee _ was goody. Ain't shit, man. Just coming in from a little quick bike ride with wifey and shit in the neighborhood. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I feel like going outside. Cab _ Cabernet. Gary Saunders. That name doesn't ring any particular bells to me, man. Who is Gary Saunders? Gary Saunders. Who's that? Double is back. What up, G? What's happening, man? What's up with you, Tizza?
Shit, man. Just trying to put this shit together. You already know what it is.
You at crib?
Yeah, at the crib.
What's the weather like?
Oh no.
You should go pull up on Benny, by the way.
Where he at?
They're gonna be there tomorrow. He wanted me to come, but I don't really like. One, I don't like leaving my house. Two, I don't like going down there, as you know. I don't like going down there. You know what I mean? So
I really be burnt out on going out too. Unless I'm like going out for a purpose to celebrate or doing something. It's like I done did this, and these niggas don't go out to have fun. Like
no,
so, it's fucked up. But to say I prefer to go to like the alternative clubs, not the gay stuff, but like where they play house music and rock, and they just play all types of music.
that's right. Well, I mean, that's how I raised you. I raised you to be diverse like that, you know, to have sociability. That's what, I don't mean to get down on us, man, but like on some real shit, bro, I'm gonna walk around a little bit. Let me take my socks off, man, so I could touch the earth. You know what I mean? But like we when I say we, I'm talking about us melanated people, bro. We are in a bad fucking way, and it's getting worse. It's getting worse because you got a fucked up generation of people influencing a new generation of people. So this generation, this contemporary generation, I say like the motherfuckers in their 20s right now, right? They're the young people who are out and about, going to clubs, you know what I'm saying, being on the scene, you know, doing all the shit that makes younger people say, I want to do that. You know, I want to hang out like that or do those things that they're doing or whatever. But that generation, that 20-something generation, 99% of them dudes is they're ignorant of everything. Like they don't know shit. They don't know nothing about nothing. They ain't been nowhere. Most of them have never traveled. Most of them never left their state, you know, let alone the country. They don't have a passport. You know what I mean? Like they have nothing to show, nothing to offer, nothing to encourage that next generation, you know? And a lot of what they do is predatory too. You know what I'm saying? So what the younger people are learning is that you can't trust anybody. And when I say anybody, I mean you can't trust your own people. You know, you can't do shit with each other. You can't do shit with each other because everybody thinks that everybody's trying to take advantage of everybody else. That is going to destroy us. It's going to fucking destroy us as a group because the only reason any other group is winning is because they understand the basics, cooperative economics, spending our money with each other. These motherfuckers won't spend no money with each other, right? And they don't trust one another. You can't even direct them towards no money because when you do, if you look like them, they be like this. What you trying to get me? Why? Because that's what we do. They don't know. There's going to come a time when you're going to be an adulting, as y'all like to say, you know, that group I'm talking about. And you're going to be like, all right, we're trying to do some real shit. Who you going to do the real shit with? Ain't nobody to do it with. Because don't nobody trust nobody. Nobody fuck with nobody like that. Everybody's leery of each other. You're destroyed because of that. And it is what it is. Like at this point, that shit is in motion. It is in motion. That shit is what it is. So the question is now, how do we correct that? How do we fix that? You need a system. You need something that you can do that will basically filter out the fuckers. You know, filter out like it's like you got to put something out there and let a motherfucker like show theyself what you really about. I'm gonna put this here, see what you do with it. Depending on what you do with it will determine for me whether or not you're somebody that I should fuck with and could fuck with. Without that, you throwing darts in the dark, and that shit can be time consuming, resource. Well, time is the greatest of resources, but it can consume all your resources, your time, your energy, you know, your money, you know, y'all, those whom I'm really directing this towards, and I'm really directing it towards everybody, you know, my generation, your generation, the generation behind you, but the generation behind you, those who are in the proximity of my voice right now, it'll be a while before they get it. By the time they do get it, for the most part, it's going to be late. Might even be too late. The world is going to look very, 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 very desperate, boy. Very desperate. I mean, you're seeing it now. You're seeing that shit now. I seen a motherfucker, a 29-year-old motherfucker. What up, 809 JR? HVAC man, it's been a minute, bro. I don't know if I told you, if I hit you about the SoFi opportunity, bro, but like I'm getting some stacks with it. So I don't know what to tell y'all, bro, but that's a case in point. Case in point, you know, as far as having something that you can use as a filtering system. That SoFi shit is a perfect thing. What's going on, Ricky? Ricky the Fool. MJQ, that's right. MJQ, that's right. That was the spot. Diverse like a motherfucker. Uncle Bam, 24. What up, Uncle Bam?
It's still diverse.
Pizza Civilizer. But yeah,
It's still diverse. You'll still look over and see two niggas kissing, and then see some, you know, thick ass Jamaican bitches twerking and shit. It's still diverse.
still circus.
Real
Still a
circus.
carnival. But you know, like the SoFi shit is a situation where you could feel it out. Like Ed just said, the SoFi move was that he was talking about in the messenger. Yeah, yeah. Like I put him on the SoFi. That's right, Trey. Skateboarding was the equalizer back in the '70s. Skateboarding, we did, you know what I mean? Like everybody skateboarded. We didn't give a fuck. We used black, white, Puerto Rican. We didn't give a fuck. We didn't care at all.
They make
What's going on?
something corny. Like if you
Huh?
that do something, you got talent, like skate. Oh, just like look at this nigga corny. This nigga on a skateboard and shit. It's like nigga, what the fuck? You mad at me because I got talent, nigga? What the fuck
Of
is wrong?
course. That's what low self-esteem does. Low self-esteem, it's an anchor. It makes you an anchor. So everybody that attaches themselves to you gets stuck because that's what you do. You stick yourself and you stick anybody that will allow you to do it. You know what I mean? That's what low self-esteem does. All that shit is low self-esteem shit. But you know, the SoFi shit is a situation where you could. It's like, okay, nigga, there's an opportunity to make some thousands. At the very least, make some hundreds, and it don't cost you no money. If you don't move on that, it's one of two reasons. Either you don't think you got the degree of hustle in you, or you don't think you got the reputation, the name that will be sufficient to get anybody to do anything. And there are people like that. Like I know one. I put somebody onto it that they hadn't been able to convince any, and they're grown. But what they didn't understand, and what I had to explain to them, is like, you know, the way you see yourself is not the way the other people see you. And this is how you know it. This right here, this experience you're having right now, where people are just ignoring you. Not just anybody, everybody. Your children, your spouse, your parents, you know, the first people you'll reach out to and say, yo, come on, let's work together, get this money together. We can all make, you know, $400 or $500 real quick. And they're like, yeah, it's you. You don't know what your reputation has been over the last 30 years. You know what I mean? You think you've been cool, but to other people, you've been coon. You know what I mean? So if you think that you don't have that kind of reputation where, you know, even your own friends and family won't fuck with you, then that's a reason not to fuck with it. Because, you know, you don't think that anybody gives a fuck about what you're talking about. If that's the case, though, if you think that nobody gives a fuck about what you're talking about, like nobody will make a move based on what you say. Like, if you've never been able to get somebody to go see a movie, or watch something on Netflix because you said so, or go to a club because you said so, you probably need to work on something. Work on you, for real, because that means that you don't garner regard in your own existence. You don't garner regard. Nobody believes in you. Nobody, you know, respects you. And if that's the case, you know, like I personally don't have any use for you personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm too old to be giving my time or attention to anybody like that. That's for somebody who's young and got time to waste. I ain't got no time to waste. You know, but there are people who are younger who might be willing to invest in letting you, you know, practice being a viable person on them. Not me, not Ty Mills, but maybe somebody somewhere. You know, now that aside, now don't nobody think they that guy. Not out loud anyway. Nobody thinks they're that guy. Right?
SoFi is a bank. It's a bank that you could get online, but it's an actual bank. They're actually sponsoring the NBA playoffs right now. So you know,
They're partners with the NBA. Every part of the NBA. Yeah. They built the SoFi Stadium. They built the Ram Stadium, that $5.5 billion stadium. You know what I mean? They've been around since '86. These motherfuckers are publicly traded. Like, you know, it ain't no bullshit. In any case, they paying real money. I done got like 3,000 out of them already. They paying real money, real fucking money. But you know, like I said, if you can't tell 2 or 3 of your friends, yo, open up this account, and they're gonna as soon as you like, you're gonna put $25 in the account, and they're gonna give you $25 as soon as you open it. But when you get your $25, though, they're gonna give me $100 because I told you to do it, and then you're gonna be able to do the same thing with other people because you did it. You're gonna get, you know what I mean? Like if you can't get 2 or 3 people to do that, make you, a few $100s, whatever, you need to work on yourself. I'm not bullshitting you. I'm not playing. I'm not even being funny. You need to work on yourself, because if you look around and you see who is well in this world, it's people who can influence people. The Kardashians have made multiple billionaires within their family, and they don't manufacture or produce a fucking thing, except, semi-black children. And then, but they have made a lot of money just because people, women, will do what they say. Yo, I like this bag. I like this makeup. I like these boots. You should, what I mean? You should do it. You should get it. You feel me? Like that's really what the 21st century looks like. That's really what opportunity in 21st century looks like. It ain't going to be about the degrees you got. It ain't going to be about the training you have. It ain't going to be about none of that. It ain't going to be about none of that. It's going to be about how many people can you get to do something. How many people can you get to buy our goods, our services, patronize our business. And the more people you can get to do that, the more money you'll be able to make. And that's the bottom line. All you people who think that you don't have to work on personal development. You don't have to read anything or learn anything or watch anything or train, your mind in any kind of way to, become better. You think that. You think you're just going to hide in the corner somewhere and work a little job somewhere. Robots are going to do those jobs. That's a fact. That's a fucking fact. You think all the people who are without homes, without employment, without, any way or means to survive or take care of themselves, that's on Skid Row and homeless, whatever, living in tents, you think that those people didn't have jobs at some point? You think they're all bums? No.
I see the robot pass out, though.
You seen the robot pass out?
The robot was working. It was doing this. It was lifting the shit up the box. It did it for like 5-6 hours. Then it said, and I was like, nigga, the robots don't even want to do that shit.
Well,
you gotta let them niggas. They need a break too. Like,
the thing is though, the thing is, they got a robot to come and fix that shit. A robot will come and fix it. I saw a joint yesterday on Instagram where the robot came in, went to the bathroom, opened the bathroom door, went inside, cleaned the toilet, the floors, the sink, replaced the toilet roll, all that. A fucking box, a box with an arm.
Hey man, niggas gonna piss on the robot. Niggas gonna be like, the fucking robot.
Yeah, okay. Fuck that robot. Yeah, they're gonna do that until they realize that they ain't gonna have no way to make no money because of the robot. You know what I mean? And it won't be about, destroying the robots, because they'll just replace with another robot. And it sounds like, even to be having this conversation talking about, robots gonna be taking your job, whatever, this and the other. Robots are already taking jobs. Any automated system is robotic, right? Or it's a artificial type of intelligence. So motherfuckers checking in. What up, House Sufia? Motherfuckers, checking you out. If you checking out and you ain't dealing with a person, that's an automated system. A robot is just an automated, device. You know what I mean? And if you're too young or your brain is too underdeveloped for you to wrap your mind around the reality of what we're talking about right now, you're excused. You're excused. Nobody's gonna lower no bar so that motherfuckers with no progressiveness about them or lacking in intellectual maturity or emotional maturity, able or willing to accept the realities that are inevitable already here, then, again, get the fuck out the way. Get out the way, man. Get out the way, bro. You know what I mean? Because ain't none of this shit waiting for nobody. Ain't none of this shit waiting for nobody to figure it out. Ain't there's none of this shit waiting for nobody to get ready, to get prepared. Nigga, it's here. This shit's happening right now. Right now. And I don't know how many people how many people y'all are tuned into that's trying to put y'all on. But I am. And I know y'all also notice this. Like it's some real serious shit when a motherfucker and Ty, like you really demonstrate that shit every day on your post. I noticed that the worse your posts are, the more ignorant they are, the more like ridiculous they are, the more engagement you get.
Yeah.
That means that motherfuckers are getting dumber and dumber and stupider. That means there are more stupid people than before. At least there are more stupid people on Instagram than there was, when I first got on Instagram. Like, I don't know. I think I first got on Instagram probably like shit 9 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
When something like Jackass got popular and was like something that they fed everybody all over the fucking country, and it was just people doing dumb shit, and they was like, you could get popular doing dumb shit.
Popular.
It was for people. It was
Popular.
You could be popular. Everybody gonna know you. All them niggas junkies and alcoholics and dead and shit. Nobody say nothing about you.
Popularity.
Like, but you popular.
What's
So everybody
popularity?
fucking know you.
I want to be popular so bad. Oh, mommy, why didn't you hug me? Daddy, why didn't you stay around? Now all I want to be is popular. I want somebody to see me. I want to be loved. I want to be cared about. Popularity. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit. You can't eat popularity. You can't live in popularity. You can't buy fuck shit with popularity. Like, I wish I could reach out and smack fire out you motherfuckers. Not because I want to harm you, but because I want to wake you on some real shit. Like, I'm down the road, as they say. Like, where you would like to head to. You'd like to see 50, damn near 60. You'd like to. Many of you won't. And I don't know if that's worse for the ones that will, but won't be prepared. Imagine, you think you fucked up now. You 22, 23, 19. You can't figure it out. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what to do. Imagine being at 60. At 19, you young, you got energy. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers might tolerate you. Ain't nobody tolerating no lost, misdirected, nowhere going ass motherfucking 60-year-old, 50-year-old motherfucker, 40-year-old motherfucker. Nobody. Don't nobody want to be around you. Don't know nigga want to hang with you. Don't know bitch want to fuck you. You understand me? Like, for real. For real. Like, I think it's a fucking game, boy. Y'all gonna realize, and you're gonna be like, damn, I wonder if Cabarrio's still doing that SoFi shit. I'm telling you.
Yo,
I'm telling you.
honestly, you gotta think about it. It's 100. Once you get somebody on, it's 100. You making $100 every time. Like, you ain't doing nothing else where you gonna make $100 every time you make a like. Unless you just sell the ounces, you just the ounce man. You like, yeah, I got these $100 ounces, and niggas just buying ounces from you. You ain't got no $100 plays like where you
I
ain't
mean,
no work or risk your life or risk no freedom or nothing. Like, it's
risk getting robbed. Nigga kill you about nothing now, right? Why? Why would nigga kill you about nothing? Because they're desperate, and it's gonna get worse. Niggas are desperate. They're desperate. They don't know what to do. It's gonna get worse. But the thing about if you run $100 play on some tree or something, that's not $100 in profit.
Hey,
It's not $100 in profit. This
stop,
year here is $100 in profit.
stop breaking down the math. You know, niggas don't good with math. As long as they got $100, they could get 100 ones and stand there and be like, nigga, and then take that picture. You'll take the picture.
Oh, word. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. So motherfuckers is worse off. Motherfuckers is worse off than I thought, bro. If that's the case, they worse off than I thought. Like, if any of the things we're saying, whether we're being funny or being smart assy or or, you know, being serious. If any of this shit, any of this dumb shit that we saying, you know, is you, or you recognize as you need to do something about that shit, man. You know what I see? And I think I mentioned this before. I see a significant increase in self-unaliving. I see it, because motherfuckers ain't gonna want to be that guy who can't even pretend that he's not fucked up. Most of them are pretending. They're pretending. But at the point at which things get so bad, because if you're pretending, that means you're not actually doing anything. And if you're not actually doing anything, eventually it'll be fucking obvious you're not actually doing anything. It'll be obvious because you won't have anything. And at the point at which it becomes obvious that you don't have anything, then no one will want anything to do with you. And you'll be isolated. You'll be left out. And ultimately, you will be down and depressed and not really feeling like you want to be around. And I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it. You know, I knew some motherfuckers in my lifetime who was the shit. They was the shit, the baddest bitch, the flyest nigga. And they just kept being that, the baddest bitch and the flyest nigga. Then it was 30, baddest bitch and the flyest nigga. Then it was 35, semi bad, kind of fly. Then it was 40, not so bad anymore. Because first of all, these at the point at which these chicks was 40, their daughters were 20, 25, and they were, you know, doing things with dudes that their mothers wouldn't even think about. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, they come in two at a time. They're like, you know, I'm gonna bring my girlfriend. You can't compete with that old freak. She bringing a girlfriend. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
She fuck all her friends. You gonna see
Right.
all naked. This shit crazy.
You know what I mean? Like Ty Mills can tell you about that.
That's my life. That is my life. I'm sorry.
He can tell
I'm
you about that.
I showed up to the family events with two women and made everybody wife be like, "What the fuck is this shit he got going on?"
One day we went to Ricky Smiley's shoot, right, where he was shooting. I wanted him to talk. You know, Ty was doing his comedian thing and whatever. I wanted Rick to talk to him, so I take him over there to the set. It was back when Rick had his show going, which was a good show. I don't know why they took it off. I guess because it didn't have enough derogatory imagery of melanated people. But and Rick stopped the production and spoke to him for 45 minutes. Shout out to Rick for that. That was dope. But that day, I remember that day because not just because of that, but because right before we went in, he was telling me how he had went off with his girl at the time and 7 of her friends.
Oh yeah, damn. I told you that.
7 of them. I was so disgusted. I was disgusted. I was like, that is fucking nasty, bro. That's some disgusting shit.
And then other ones showed up because they was about to go to an event. And I was in the room with one. And they was like in the other room. And the girl came out the room after we was. And they was like, yo, your girl sitting right here. So what is going on? And she just pulled the girl's stuff out. And she was my shooter. I miss you, shooter.
Tamir Dre Sean, his comment is, how many people I'm sure we both know made millions and never knew to invest in stock that pays 9%. Facts. Let me tell you something. I've never been a dummy, but I have been ignorant and am still ignorant of a great deal. The difference is I know I'm ignorant of a great deal. That's why I constantly push myself, because I know I'm ignorant of a whole lot. And I know what being ignorant of things can cost you. For you to go out and what Tamir Dre Sean is talking about is, those of us who risked our lives and our freedom and our sanity, you know, for $1, only to turn around and treat that dollar like it was given to us for free, you know. And the reason that we did that is because we didn't know what else to do with it, because our relationship with money was consumer. It was consumption. So the more money you got just meant the more stuff you could buy, because we didn't have the training of financial, you know, behavior, fiscal responsibility. You know, we were, you know, the part of the consumer group. We are the consumer group. They're the ones that don't make anything. We just buy everything. And if we do make it, we turn around and let somebody take it from us and then sell it back to us. Right? So, yeah, I didn't do it either. I didn't do it either. It's like I couldn't stand to see money pile up too high. Got to spend some of this money. I couldn't stand to see it pile up too high. You know, and the psychology is so destructive, it's so backward and so undermining, bro. Like, when a person presented a situation to me that could have diversified me in a legitimate lane and actually given me the degree of financial freedom and stability that could have enabled me to stop fucking around and still live the life I was accustomed to living, I couldn't even see it. It's like, what you talking about? Nigga, I sell dope, nigga. I'm a heroin dealer, motherfucker. That's my identity, apparently, you know?
Like when you
And
brownstones.
right. Like your grandmother, she did the same thing. She did the same thing. And it was weird because when she told me, I was about maybe 11 or 12 years old, and she said, you know, I had the opportunity to buy a whole, and I was probably a little older because she had retired by then. This is before I brought her out of retirement. So I brought her out. She retired about 80 or so. She retired. I brought her back out in 86. And yeah, she got to it. Your grandmother was a hustling motherfucker, boy. She got to it. She used to bring me 10,000 a week, just sitting on a motherfucking bar stool, sipping on ginger ale. 10,000 a week. She sold 1,000 dimes a week, sitting on a bar stool, bro, in the hood, in our old hood, and all. You know what I mean? Bottle up her uncle. She just, you know, take. I don't know what I was giving her, like, I don't know, maybe like an eighth. And she'd bottle up the whole eighth. She had the triple beam, had my triple beam out, be sitting in her room. Had a little table by her bed, and be bottling that shit up, measuring out every bottle, and bring me 10 stacks every fucking week. It was my play money. Every week, bring me 10 stacks. But she told me when I was about 13 or so, she said, I had the opportunity to buy a whole block of brownstones. So, you know, I'm just getting into my thing. You know, I'm 13. You know, I'm just getting into my thing. I'm just starting to do my thing. So I say to her incredulously, why you ain't do that? Now, when I thought about that later, I was like, what did that little kid know that this grown man forgot? Because I said to her, why didn't you do that? Like, I understood what the implications of that were at that age. But then when the time came and I had the same opportunity, I did the same shit. I guess I got the answer to my question. Her answer to it was, I had money. I didn't think I'd ever need that. I had millions of dollars. I didn't think I'd ever need that. And that's logical, especially back then. Especially, you see, it's difficult for me sometimes to put some of these experiences into a contemporary context, because you guys can't remove yourself from a time where technology such as what we're using right now existed. But there were no cell phones. Most people didn't even have house phones. Most people had black and white TVs if they had one at all. $1,000 was like $9,000 today. So if you had $1 million back then, you could buy what about $9 million will buy you today. You know what I mean? The power of the dollar was crazy. It's crazy. So if you had $1 million cash just sitting in your motherfucking closet and you making money every fucking day, the last thing you thinking is that you'll need money, especially if you ain't got no habits. You're not a drunk or a drug addict or a fucking degenerate gambler, you know what I'm saying, a trick. If you're not doing none of that shit, then you think, fuck, where the fuck is my money going? You know? And if you aren't aware of what's ahead, if you haven't had a degree of exposure or education or been around people who are exposed to education, especially as it relates to finances or even politics, because, a lot of your politicians, surprise, surprise, they're crooks. Imagine that. They're crooks, like real crooks. You know what I mean? Like real fucking crooks. And one of the main things they like to do, crooked shit they like to do, is they like to get information about things that are going to go into high value and at this point have low value. And then they buy those things. They buy a lot of it. And that way, when it comes around to being worth a lot, they can make a bunch of money. And that's what most of them are in politics for opportunity, not to make America great or that old fuck shit. They're there to rob and steal, you know. They just do it with a clean face and a Brooks Brothers suit, but they're thieves and crooks, right? So if you're exposed to people like that, if my predecessors were exposed to people like that, those people would have told them, look, pharmaceuticals is going to be huge. Computers, electronics, it's going to be huge. You know what I mean? And, diversify and there's a plan, like the plan to gentrify Chicago, the plan to gentrify New York, Harlem, the plan to, gentrify all of the places that be Atlanta. Those plans, they didn't look up one day and say, yo, it's 1990. What, let's start trying to run people out of the hood, run the prices up, over police them, and run them out the hood, raise the prices of everything and run them out the hood so we can buy the let crime run rampant so that everybody who's of any decent, caliber will leave and, take away the financial base, the taxpayer base from those areas and cause those places to fall into disrepair for lack of, the necessary resources to keep them, suitable for occupation. And then when everything is at its worst, we can go in and buy it for nothing because who the fuck wants it? And then when the developers that we've been talking to for the last, 15 fucking years showing us these plans, 20 years showing us these plans, what they're going to do, when they come along, they'll have to buy this shit from us. And we know the real future value of it, so we can charge them a premium. Like, that's what they do. This new documentary we're working on, I'll share a bit about, is the Red Dogs. And for y'all who don't know, the Red Dogs were a wild group of cops, black cops, who went crazy in the hood in Atlanta back in the latter part of the 80s and into the 90s, remember the mid 80s to mid 90s. And when Techwood and all those other hoods were in prime real estate where you see all the high-end, high-priced, high rises and shit like that, that was all hood,
Right there.
bad hood.
Right there by Georgia Tech,
Yes,
Lucky Lounge area.
yes, all that, hood like a motherfucker. You understand me? And so the black politicians, they put together this group of cops who were, gonna clean up the neighborhood. Man, they was locking motherfuckers up so fast and so much. 2 Chainz and his mom, they got ran down on by them. You know what I mean? Between me, you, and the people that are on here with us now, I just had CeeLo shoot his part for it because he had experience with it. So I just had CeeLo shoot his part for it. And I'm talking to two to try to get him to do his part, whatever. But he running around, but he'll get down. But it's about letting people know what these politicians did. They use these cops to run people out the hood. They use these cops to increase the policing activities in certain zip codes so that it looked like those zip codes were undesirable and that people who didn't know what the plans were would be inclined to move away from those places so that they could buy the places for nothing. And that's what they did. So we got several of the several of those cops that were down with them, a couple of the politicians that were down with it. You know what I mean? And we're gonna have people who were in those neighborhoods who got ran down on and run up on, and Mark Curry got locked up by the Red Dogs. He about to shoot his part. You know what I mean? And these things are to put into perspective a lot of the things that I share, about what's really been happening, what's really been going on, and how things got how they are today. This inability to connect the dots is what is really fucking us over. The inability to look at something that has happened and connect it to what's happening now, and then to understand that based on what's happening now, following the trajectory of what led to what's happening now, you can kind of foretell what's going to happen next, and then to create contingencies and preparation for that inevitability so that you can avoid the worst end of it and maybe take advantage of the best that can come out of it. The lack of that in our group got us, we're like the Flintstones out here, bro. We're like the fucking Flintstones out here. Like, we really don't know what the fuck is going on. We really, really don't. We don't know what's going on. And a lot of us think that we can be like that. We think we can be like that. Like, we can just go about life not knowing what's going on. But like I tell you, it's going to lead to a lot of depression. It's going to lead to a lot of self-loathing. It's going to lead to a lot of sadness, a lot of hate, a lot of mindless desperation. You're seeing it already. The mindless desperation. You're already seeing that. You're already seeing that. You're already seeing it. The shit that niggas is doing, the dumb shit niggas is doing, that's all that. That's mindless desperation. The shit that make you go, yo, what the fuck is niggas on? Like, what's that about? That's the mindless desperation. Y'all think it's always been like that, but not to the degree that it is. What's up, E75? Yeah, Trey, black politicians, bro. That's right. Atlanta been run by black people for a long time. The police chief in Atlanta, Red Dog, is in Memphis, Tennessee. He's in Memphis, Tennessee now, Ellison. Yep, Inglewood, California is where the SoFi Stadium. Yep, that's right. That's right. When Bill Clinton moved his office to Harlem, that was the nail in the coffin uptown. When Bill Clinton moved his office to 125th Street between Lenox and 5th, next to the T-Mobile, in the same building as the T-Mobile, what that was the high sign. That was, yo, we over here, yo. It's the new spot. We fucking with this. I'm gonna show y'all how to move, all right? Watch, I'm gonna put my spot here. Y'all come eat. That's why he moved it there. He did it. It was strategy. I don't know what people thought it was, but the tendency that people have to think, like I've said to y'all so many times, to think about everything within the limits of what they already think they understand, so as not to see what things actually are. You understand what I'm saying? They don't see what they actually are. They look at them through the same lens, and thus they look like the same thing. So nothing to see here. Oh yeah, I know what that is. You don't know what it is. You think you know what it is. You think it was what you thought it was before, and you were probably wrong about that because you did no more research into that concept or belief or idea than you did the thing right before you right now. That's gonna kill you, man. That's gonna kill you, brothers, sisters. It's gonna kill you. I'm telling you. And the tool for your death is going to be each other in desperate mindlessness. And you'll tell yourself, like that dude that I just saw the video on YouTube, 29-year-old dude, middle of the day, woman coming out of the store with groceries, runs up on her as she getting in her car, pushes her down on the ground, and starts grabbing her purse. Talking about, give me your purse. What do you think you're gonna find in there, bud? What do you think you're gonna find in a purse, man? You looking for tampons? What you looking for?
Money.
Yeah, really? Cash? Really? Unless she running plays, she ain't got no cash. Regular people don't carry cash, right? But what stopped him from getting off is her daughter, 9-year-old girl, ran up on homie, and as he was bent over trying to grab the woman's purse, You see him pulling the purse, and she's on the floor because he ran up on her, pushed her down. He hiding behind a little electronic box on the side of the building, hiding behind the thing. When she come out, get in her car, he was waiting for whoever was getting in that car, as long as they weren't a man, I'm certain. And what's up, Nakia? 1, 2, 3, 4. Long nights, cold mornings. What's happening? It's been a minute. And when he bent over to get the bag, the little girl ran up on him and hit him in the face. Mop, mop, and then gave him a kick to the face. Wah! She must be taking Taebo classes or something, B. He got the fuck up out of there. And of course, you know, when people seen the little girl fighting this grown ass man, then they ran up and he ran off, whatever, and they busted him. That's how I know he's 29 years old. And they busted him. But in his mind, he's sitting somewhere locked up, can't make his bail, and you know he got a bail, and you know he can't make it. Saying to himself, yo, I had to get some money for my rent, man. They about to put me out. Oh, okay. Now you got somewhere to stay for a minute. And when you get out, you're going to really have a fucking problem in terms of where the fuck you going to reside, nigga.
If you in, where was he at? What state?
I think it might have been Florida.
Oh, yeah, them Florida niggas will get you. You attack the woman, boy, that niggas beat the shit out you. Florida jail ain't playing. Florida jail not playing with your ass. They'll take you, put a honey bun hit on you.
Yep. Put a honey bun hit on you?
Honey bun hit on your ass. Them
No doubt.
Buns, that's real.
No doubt. That's real. Motherfuckers don't think it's real.
Hey, man.
I see motherfuckers get thrown off a tier over a honey bun. Over a honey bun, baby. Over the side, baby. Over a honey bun.
Pay me my shit, boy.
That's right.
Honey bun soups.
That's right.
Nigga, lose
That's right. That's right. Nigga, do you about them soups, boy? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot more of that. And I mean, the jails is already mad full with a bunch of mindless motherfuckers who didn't know what else to do. You know what I mean? And it's going to get worse. You're going to have people, you got people locked up that they never did nothing before in their life, but they got to a point where they partied themselves into a corner. They partied themselves into a corner and was like, oh shit, I'm 27? Oh shit, this shit ain't cute no more. Oh shit, what the fuck am I do? What am I do? You know?
I think your age range is off. I'm watching chicks 38, 44, talking. There is too many. When you got a chick like Bernice Burgos and Vivica Fox and Taraji P. Henson, they all still single and still like doing the same shit that they was doing 20 years ago, acting like they happy, then you gonna have a bunch of women like, nigga, we happy, we outside, and we still look good. And it's like, you don't look, not that you don't look good, it's like you old and still doing the same shit.
That's not cute.
You're not really worth what you think you're worth, because somebody would been somebody, you don't see a valuable piece of fruit and be like, oh, I'm gonna come back to this shit 20 years later. No, you eat that shit now. You take that shit, ooh, I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna hide this shit from everybody. That shit don't work like that.
You know, the thing about them particular women that you just named in your example is that they all had surgery. So, even they wasn't in the position where they could afford some degree of surgery, because they've all been very vocal, especially the sister Taraji. Shout out to her. I think that she's a wonderful sister. I've never met her, but I think that she's a wonderful representation of excellent, sister. But they've all complained about, even with the degree of talent and work and so forth that they put in, that they've not been treated fairly, paid fairly, and all that. And these are people who bust their ass, who work hard, who really put the work in, and they're struggling.
Yeah.
So what do regular, everyday, 9-to-5 type people, what do they think they got coming?
You can't tell regular people that they struggling. They tell you that they rich. They'll be like, no, she rich. Because they'll hear a random Instagram girl talk about how she rich and she got it, and her life is taking trips and buying bags and shit. Like, they really be believing that shit. These females be lost. And they be openly lost because it be like the loudest ones be the most popular ones. It's like mob mentality. Since she loud and she's saying it the most, then it gotta be right and it gotta be true. And if you say something you hating and you just don't you hating on bitches getting money and all that shit, like nobody. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
I don't want you to be fooled. That's why I be trying to say something, but I'm hating for saying something. Like when they said Black China had $250 million, I said you could look at her life and see she don't got 250
See,
million
see,
dollars.
no, but you can't if you've never had $250. Then you have no idea what $250 million lifestyle looks like.
I mean, on the aspect of if you got $250 million, you got custody of your kids. Your baby daddies can't win no custody battle with 250 million animals. I don't give a fuck if they're a Kardashian, they could be a Clinton, they could be a Kennedy. 250 million, you gonna have them kids at their house. That nigga gonna be coming to pick their ass up when you feel like it with 250 million.
You're right. You're right.
She see
See,
her
you
kids
have
on
you
the
have
weekend.
perspective. You have perspective because of the way that I raised you. You've lived nice. The average Your average peer hasn't lived nice. They've lived very, I used to tell y'all all the time, your motherfuckers don't have no idea how lucky you are. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? You got a good motherfucking life.
Man,
You know what I mean? But
that
those
was at your
people,
house.
huh?
That was at your house.
Yeah,
The rest of the family house was at your house.
I know. But it's like you got perspective. That's why I let y'all go there.
Yeah,
That's why I let you go to, you know what I mean? Go visit your moms and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, because I wanted you to have perspective. And you can't really communicate perspective. You got to kind of demonstrate
yeah,
perspective. You know what I mean? So I needed you to go and spend time, spend weekends over there, spend the summer there, so you could see the difference between even the kids in the neighborhoods that we lived in
yeah,
and the kids in the neighborhoods that they lived in. Those kids in the neighborhood they lived in they was some fucked up kids, wasn't they?
yeah.
They
We
used to
had to
fuck with
fight them
y'all.
kids. In
Yeah,
our neighborhood, we just had to slap the shit out them kids. It's like slap the shit out them. You ain't have to really beat nobody up. But the grandma neighborhood, you got knuckle up. You
that's
got
right.
stand in this box, get your five
Right.
on.
Right. That's right. So, the average melanated person, I mean, you could look at the statistics and know this, like that post that I put up a couple of weeks ago, showing what the average median household income was for, Hispanics and whites, Hispanics, Asians, you know, um, non non-white Hispanics or something like that, and then black people in that order. Like uh, Chinese are at the top because most of them are business owners. So you got two people within the house, they own businesses, whatever. So they shit is up there. Then white people, and then Hispanics, and then black people, and everybody was several percentile, um, several percent higher in income, household median income than we were. You know what I mean? Collectively. And if that's the case, then that means that most melanated people are not being exposed to a certain level of life. They don't know it even exists because everybody they know, they leave their daddy's house or their mommy's house and they go to their auntie's house or their grandma's house. Everybody living low. So they think this is what it is. They're not seeing, you know, homes. They're not seeing, um, you know, uh, uh, it's all me, buddy. All me, buddy. All me, buddy. All me, buddy. All me. you know, and
Yep.
it,
There
look,
you go. There you go. All you. It's all you. All right.
yeah, look at that.
Towards the house,
Barefoot like a
nigga.
motherfucker.
Put his little dirty ass feet.
Really concerned for our people, bro. And at the same time, you know, if you got even, you know, if you got even a little something, because of the circumstances we're talking about, because of those kinds of ideas that you just expressed that many of the young females have or not so young females have,
Yeah.
because of the things that, you know, I was talking about where, you know, cats don't really understand how to do anything with money other than spend it, other than give it away. You know what I mean? Um, the, the mindset of our people is such that, you know, you have to, if you're not in that mindset, you got to separate yourself from them in a way where when they start getting desperate and mindless and sitting around a house, sitting around a little apartment, you know, little projects, whatever, they can't figure out what's what, that they can't just step outside and come fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just step outside and come fuck with me. You ain't nowhere near me, nowhere near me. And that's on purpose. That's on purpose. And that's, a lot of us are like that. You know what I mean? Those of us who are progressive and all that, we like that. Like, we are purposely nowhere near your ass, nowhere near you. Because it's as much as I got love for my people. I got love for my people, man. Despite myself, I got love for my people. And niggas have cost me a lot of money, man. Seriously, as you know, niggas cost me a lot of money. Like, very easily $1 million last year, trying to help niggas easily, you know. But I still love them because I remember when I didn't know. Now, I ain't never been a scumbag or a person who, you know, takes advantage of people, no shit like that. But I did not know and operated like a nigga that didn't know. You know what I mean? And so I get it. They're operating out of ignorance. They don't know. They don't get it. They don't understand. I get that. You know, but I can't sit around and be subjected to that, though. You know, I can't sit around and be like, you know, I understand you don't get it, so I'm just going to sit here and let you shit on me, let you undermine me. I'm not doing that. I ain't doing that. I love myself, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to sit around and let a motherfucker that has no idea what the fuck they're doing or what the potential impact of their behavior is on other people just be around me. I'm not doing that. I don't want you to be my neighbor. I don't want to see you in my local supermarket. You're none of that. I don't want to see you at the gas station. None of that. And I don't. I do not. You know, and it's on purpose. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to also have that same situation. But you can't have that situation. If you don't have it now, it's because you don't know something. And until you fill in the gap of your ignorance of what you don't know, you're only going to be able to do whatever you've been able to do now, right? Like I say, the current degree of information you are in possession of can only take you as far as you have gone, as far as you find yourself right now. If you wish to go further, you'll have to learn more. It's like gas in your car. You know, you fill that motherfucker up one time, you drive them 3, maybe 400 miles, you put more gas in that motherfucker, or you're going to be sitting wherever the fuck it stops. And a lot of y'all ain't gassed up in a long, long time. You're sitting on the side of the road talking about, it's a Benz though. It's a Benz though. It's
Yeah.
not moving. It's not moving. Melvin Cooper, what's happening? Willie 666 Big Daddy, what's popping, man? OG Ball, what's happening? Fucking Ball in the building. Bismanship. So we got about 30 seconds left, man. I got a question, bro. Off subject, not in service. Damn. I just seen that, man. Hold that. Tap back in on Tuesday. Tiger _ Bronx NYC. Welcome. One Charles _ King. Welcome, man. Thanks for tapping in, man. If you ain't catch it, man, just I'm gonna post it. So watch it. Son, I love you. Remember, think critically so you can live wonderfully.
Love you.
Peace.